The president is, of course, making his debut on the world stage. The pressure on him is enormous as America's influence is challenged and his powers of persuasion are put to the test.
This is going to be, I think, a critical meeting at a obviously critical time in the world's economy.
And a critical opportunity for this president.
I think President Obama is going to get a fantastic welcome in Europe, not just for who he is, but for what he represents.
What he represents to many countries overseas is a departure from the Bush administration, which alienated some foreign governments early on with its rejection of global warming initiatives and its national security positions. It may be a fresh start, but the current president's approval ratings will only take him so far.
Barack Obama is still extraordinarily popular at the street level throughout Europe, but I don't think it's going to translate into the governmental level. They're going to push back because for them, basic questions of dollars and cents, of economics, are far more important than anything to do with the United States.
Several thorny issues will dominate the discussions. The White House is pushing for other countries to adopt their own stimulus plans, similar to the $787 billion package passed in the U.S.
There you go. It's done.
When President Obama meets with British Prime Minister Gordon Brown tomorrow here in London, he'll find a receptive audience. Brown supports a stimulus plan to jumpstart his country's economy, which is also in a real bind. But when Mr. Obama meets with French President Nicolas Sarkozy and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, he'll find two world leaders who are very wary of spending their way out of a recession.
I am authorizing the reconstruction.
To get out of the Great Depression, President Roosevelt infused money into the system through a number of programs known as the New Deal, and President Obama is following that model. But history has taught the Europeans a different lesson. In the early 20th century, Germany pumped massive amounts of cash into the economy, sending inflation sky high. The German people lost faith in their government, and that led to the rise of Hitler, fascism, and World War II. Today, they fear inflation more than almost anything.
We're not on the same page as the Europeans. The United States is focusing much more on stimulus packages. The Europeans are worried this will simply rekindle inflation. For their part, the Europeans are much more focused on things like regulatory reform.
The Europeans are calling for an international banking super cop to monitor the financial system worldwide, but the U.S. is unlikely to support such a plan. Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, will also be high on the agenda. Nations will be asked to donate more to the fund so it can support struggling countries.
There are no quick fixes, and there are no silver bullets.
Meeting the heads of emerging economic powers like China and Russia may be the most challenging and delicate task for a president with limited foreign policy experience. Both countries have recently antagonized the U.S. by calling for a global currency to replace the U.S. dollar.
What they're basically saying is, hey, you Americans can't have it both ways. You've either got to give the rest of us a say in how many dollars you print, or you may have to get used to the idea of something else besides the dollar.
And China's new assertiveness on this and other issues makes it a powerful new voice in this, the 10th year of the G20.
All these things seem to point to the fact that the United States is watching its importance in the world decline rather significantly.
It's the fact that you have 20 countries meeting tells you something. The United States is simply one of the 20, yes, the most powerful, but others are beginning to assert their role on the world stage much more forcefully.